Hi, this is Drew Tignanelli. This is our May update of the Financial Pulse. And Tom, how are you today?
I'm doing great, Drew. I mean, we're looking casual. I think we should, go out and play
You
golf.
like
or
my
something.
little Star Trek thing here?
Yeah,
Beam me up, Scotty.
Beam you up. The weather's broken, and
Actually, a good friend of mine gave this to me. It's a where's it? Shark Tank. You gave it to me.
Shark Tank came from Shark Tank.
And so what it does is it makes my glasses look like I'm a magician.
That's right. You know, you can do a forward roll, and it'll stay on.
I'm not going to try that right now, but anyway, so it's a pretty cool little thing. Magnets hold that together. Anyway, we're moving on. We're talking about the markets. A lot of people are acting like the economy is you called it frozen, right? I actually am seeing a lot of good evidence that this economy. There's a difference between the market and the economy, isn't there?
Yeah.
That this economy actually is ready to really propel more so than I've seen any numbers yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of talk about infrastructure spending. And we spent the last week trying to get to the office through the infrastructure spend that's going on out here.
I don't understand why they're paving that street, but they are.
It's a really important street, so we can get back and forth to the office. And but there are a lot of infrastructure projects out there that need to be done. But we've seen many of the companies we've invested in that are redeploying capital into rebuilding and retooling for this next stage of the economy's growth.
Yeah, we look at the railroad reports, and railroad truckloads are moving up aggressively compared to last year's numbers, which had moved up very nicely. And always when you see autos moving and railroad moving of autos is up like 8 to 10% this year. Crushed stone is a sign that building projects are starting, because that's always what you start with is crushed stone. And they're skyrocketing right now. New loans, bank loans, and different types of lending and leasing is moving up aggressively right now. So I actually see a lot of positive signs for the economy. It doesn't necessarily translate into a positive stock market, does it?
No, it doesn't. And as you said, there are some positive signs, and yet there's some questions out there. So we've seen new jobs increasing at a higher rate. That's been great. Janet Yellen, our Fed chair, came out and continuing to keep rates low, yet reducing the accommodations that they've had in terms of buying securities. But what's been interesting is that the markets, here we are, May the 9th, and all the markets up about 2%. Whether it's the stock market and surprisingly the bond market. We've had the 10-year yield come from over 3% down to about 2.6, and we've seen international markets kind of fluctuate a little bit, but everything's about 2% so far, so nothing too exciting. And we're still waiting, though, for incomes to improve. We still haven't seen the income flow through, and there has been concern about the taxes. So yet, companies, it's cheap money out there. We're seeing IPOs. Mergers, all those things are starting to take place out there. I mean, Apple's out, going to buy a headphone maker. We're going to have you walking around the office with some headphones on.
Sounds like a good idea, Tom. Anyway, so, it's not that we're in no way, shape, or form negative about the market. We're in no shape or form just saying, let's throw it all in. It's a good environment. It's nothing to be overtly concerned about as far as we can see, and it's nothing to be overtly optimistic about. We are 5 years or more into a bull move, and historically 3 to 4 is the average, and 7 is about the longest that's ever been recorded. So unless this market hits all kinds of historical records on the up move, we're long in the tooth in the market right now. So you have to be concerned, but there's nothing to say that the stock markets are going to collapse anytime soon.
Right, yeah. The price to earnings multiples are reasonable on the stock market. The alternative investments were cash or bonds, not very attractive. Corporate spreads, the risk that premium that you pay to buy a corporate bond are not at historic lows, but they're pretty tight, so you're not getting paid a lot to spread out into the bond market. So everybody's pushing you towards equities, yet corporate balance sheets are still in great shape, and companies are doing well, and really it's the next leg that I still think the consumer needs to get re-engaged.
Yep. So anyway, we wanted to talk about a financial planning topic, and the one that we wanted to discuss is more of a general concept. And When I go to my doctors, my parents' generation, my parents will probably watch this video, and if they do, I'm going to get a hard time. But my parents' generation, when they go to the doctor tells them what to do, and that's it, the end of the story. In our generation...
No questions asked.
No questions asked. He said it, take these pills, you take this pill, and so forth. When I go to my doctor, I engage with them, and I want to know, why do you believe this? What is it? I don't need to know everything there is to know about medicine, but I want to know, what is the reason? Is there an alternative? Et cetera, et cetera. So I want to be engaged with that professional. Right. And I think that is the way that working with professionals, you get the greatest efficiency, the greatest, what's the word I'm looking for? Come on.
Greatest results.
Greatest results. There you go. Yeah. That's a good word. Yeah. You get the greatest results. Because, there was a, what was it, the Today Show, or there were a couple television shows that came out and said, we went and compared professionals doing tax returns, and we had 17 professionals, and 16 of them were wrong, et cetera, and they were kind of like saying, just learn and do your own tax return. Get TurboTax. Well, I'm telling you, I reviewed TurboTax clients who come in to do a financial physical, and I find some overwhelming mistakes that are just... we're talking, I've had a couple just recently we've amended where we're getting back thousands of dollars for clients in the mistakes that were made on those TurboTax returns. TurboTax is a good program, but you have to understand what the input is and what the output is. Mm-hmm. But you see, here's where I think that comes in, is that when that professional with that knowledge and that client with the personal knowledge and the absolute personal concern about their own result comes together and work together on that, I think you get your greatest results in how any professional, whether it's a tax return or financial planning.
Yeah, sure. The tax returns, to that, Timothy Geithner, Treasury Secretary, he couldn't do his tax returns correctly on TurboTax, right? So here's a pretty smart guy. And
who was in charge of the tax returns for the whole entire nation.
Exactly, and he got criticized for it, but your point is that, even a doctor goes to another doctor, he doesn't treat himself.
Right.
And so
I have my own tax return done by somebody else, and our company accounting is done by somebody else.
Exactly. So you want to have another set of eyes, but it's important, what you're saying is to be engaged with the professional. You want to know what the options are and have a discussion of the pros and cons. We talk about lessening the worry and burden of money management. Well, when you know what's going on, you get a piece about what's going on. When you have some knowledge about it, if you just dump it all on us and we just get all this paper in, I hope they take care of it. I hope they do it right. Well, if you're here or we're interacting in some way, then we can really make sure that we are doing it right. And we know, this is changing, or this is new, or this is what changed in the tax law, therefore that's why we want to do something different. And that applies to your taxes as well as your financial plan. And as we were saying earlier, anytime you're dealing with another professional, we act, it's not football season, it's baseball season, but we act like a quarterback.
Right.
And for our clients, we're the quarterback. So you feed it to us. We kind of lay out the play, you get a little bit of feedback, and we drop it off to the receiver over here, the attorney, and we get a little bit of feedback from the attorney. So a little flea flicker, going back and forth, passing the ball around, and so that we can make sure. But at the end of the day, we see the whole field for the client.
Right.
We need to get them engaged with that.
So our clients that don't understand football have no idea what you just said.
Well, it is baseball season. You want to give a baseball analogy?
No, but that was perfect, But you're right. And we spend a lot of time saying that, look, when we do this financial plan, this is a draft. When we do your retirement analysis, this is a draft. Look it over and give us your feedback as to whether you think these numbers are the correct numbers. When we do a tax return, we're given the return to say, look this over and give us some feedback if there's something that looks out of place. And if you go to another professional, a lawyer, an insurance agent, or whatever, and they say to do something, come to us, because we have that second pair of eyes. You look at it, come to us, and then we can work together. Help what is it? Help us help you.
Help me help you. Carry the sports analogy a little further. We were going with Jerry Maguire.
Right.
Because we said, it's come up that you look a little bit like Tom Cruise.
Yes, I look. It's the hair.
It's the hair. Yeah, it's that look. And so we're going to carry that sports analogy. Help me help you.
There you
and
go.
So help us help you.
Jerry Maguire, right?
Jerry Maguire. That's right.
Help me! Help me, Rod. Help me! Help you. Help me. Help you. Help me. Help you.
Anyway, we're moving,
We are.
and we're not moving far. We're moving like, 3 football fields down the hill?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
About that.
Well, we have to measure that and figure out if it is 3 football fields.
Yeah,
what
we're-
would
we're
3
a little-
football fields be? 300 yards.
300 yards. Yeah, that's right. So it's maybe a little bit longer, but yeah, a little bit closer down the hill, right there on Chewan Road, and we're looking forward to it. Going to be on the 5th floor.
Right, somebody said to us last night we were going to be in the penthouse.
Okay.
Well, we're going to be on the top floor, but I don't know if it's going to be a penthouse.
Yeah, it's not a penthouse, but it's a great space, and
Yeah.
we have more space for clients. It's going to be a super place for people to come in and really interact. And that's
And
what
it'll
we like.
allow us to help us help them.
That's
Did I
right.
say that right? Help us help them. So anyway, and so Tom, we also have some other exciting news, and that is that our Gettysburg office is also going into the same type of expansion. We don't have all the details laid out, so we're not going to explain exactly, but you're going to see in the next month or two, hopefully, we're going to have an announcement as to where the Gettysburg office is going to be, and it's going to, I believe, double or possibly triple in size.
Yeah,
so it's
it's great.
doing great up there. Ryan's done a fantastic job, and we're looking forward to being able to announce the exciting news that's coming in Gettysburg also. But for right now, we're definitely June 1 going into the new Hunt Valley office.
Yeah, we're helping the economy. We're
Absolutely. Anyway, this is Drew Tignanelli saying God bless.